This year I hit 40 years old, and here's 40 life lessons that I had to learn the hard way. People care way less than you think. See, the 10 most dangerous words is what would other people say and what would other people think. We spend so much time on social media looking and scrolling and sharing highlight reels. We care far too much about what people think about us. But believe it or not, people give less of a shit than you think. You are old news come tomorrow or the next day, regardless of what other people might think or might say about you. So pay less attention to it. Confidence doesn't come naturally. It's built from doing hard things and doing hard things consistently. See, confidence comes from proof and from data. Most people just look at what they're shit at, what they're behind on, what they've done bad, and beat themselves up for what they haven't done, rather than give themselves credit for what they have done. The fastest way to confidence is doing hard things regularly, pushing out your comfort zone, and making sure along the way you're taking some data so you're not involved with the drama in your own mind. Movement is medicine. And it's head medicine. See, mental health needs physical support. When you're in a physical routine and you're consistent with your movement patterns, you will be more mentally strong and mentally in a good headspace. Movement truly is medicine for the soul. There's nothing more important than you feeling good. Stop being a people pleaser. It's okay to do things that are nice for people and give your time and energy to people, but not at the expense of yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to fill your own cup first, make your own self feel great so that you can give a better version of yourself to everyone else. Never ever believe it's selfish to invest money in your own personal growth, personal development, and physical health, because that's money well invested. Rejection is a choice. Believe it or not, nobody can actually reject you unless you accept it to be so. See, the answer to no is simply next. Your network is your net worth. Hanging around people who are pissheads, fat, complaining moaners, just makes you one as well. Hanging around people who sniff drugs, you're more likely to do it. Hanging around broke people who all they do is complain about money and how much things are is never going to financially help you get ahead. You need to be hanging around people who are hitting goals, talking bigger, thinking about options and solutions rather than problems and complaints and blaming someone else and pointing the fingers and saying it's their fault, it's the government, it's the council, it's them, it's me ex, she's a bitch, and forget to see the three pointing back at you. You become who you hang around. Your environment is very, very important. Social media isn't actually social. It's interest media. We scroll often, some of us 30 to 40 to 50 hours a week. If you check your screen time, you'd be shocked at how much you actually scroll on pointless things like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And a lot of that stuff is just mindless entertainment and also drama to get you sucked in and start arguing with somebody you don't even know, which drains your energy and your mood. Start getting around real people more often. Join a gym with a community. Go to places that have real people where you can get in real conversations. Stop just relying on sending text messages and inbox messages to people. You need fitness to keep going, and you need strength to not stop. People talk the old debate of weights or cardio, and the answer is both. You need to get yourself out walking more. You need to get your heart rate up to try some high intensity training. Maybe swimming or running or gymnastics or kettlebells or martial arts is your thing. But you also need to lift weights and get stronger. Lift heavier weights, do more reps, slow your reps, do better form. Consistency is key, but the argument of weights or cardio, the answer is both. Train for sanity, not vanity. Most people join the gym to lose weight, get in shape for a holiday, or wedding pictures. Although it's nice to think you'll get in shape for a while, my philosophy is to train well to be strong up here. There's nothing more important than you feeling good, going back to a previous life lesson. And a lot of the time we train just to look good. And our days are numbered if we do that. But if we train to feel good, we'll look good as a side effect. Your energy will be higher, your mental health will be better, and you'll keep going as a lifestyle, not just a season, because training for sanity is way more important than in training just to look good in a t-shirt or for a photograph. Mindset is everything. See, how you think, what you perceive to be true, your beliefs, your thoughts, and your opinions shape your character and identity, which drives you through life and ultimately produces the results that you desire. So it's always important and actually a priority to get up here sorted. Get the mind set right through coaching, reading, socializing, getting away from distractions as much as you can, and working on the mindset and the personal growth and development as a priority. Life is an ongoing journey of self-discovery, not just a passing of time. See, we experience life through experiences and intensity. And some are very intense for long periods, some are very intense for short periods. You learning about yourself, upgrading your identity, your thoughts, your habits, your behaviors, your mindsets, your beliefs. You need to upgrade yourself as a person, and the only way to do that is to discover more about yourself. So rather than pointing the finger at you and going, I'm shit, this is crap, I'm behind at this, like we all are guilty of doing, maybe it's time to go, well, I never knew that about myself. I wonder how I can get better at that. Very important to understand that you're going to discover along the way through your mistakes, through your mishaps, through your failures. Never forget to keep moving forward and discover more about yourself, because self-awareness is one of the keys to a happier and more evolving life. Age isn't just a number, it's a level. And since hitting level 40, I'm more excited to up level more than ever. See, I'm a gamer, and all through my life I've done PlayStation, Nintendo, and everything in between. I'm also an avid board gamer, and I love when you level up your XP, or you get extra armor points, or you get an extra accessory to take along with you on the journey. See, this is what it's got to be about with life. In your 40s and beyond, you can be the fittest, strongest, healthiest, and most experienced and intelligent you can possibly imagine, if you're willing to apply yourself and continue going no matter what setbacks life may throw at you. Think about age as not a number and not as slowing down, but actually as leveling up and getting better. Choose hard, get easy. Choose easy, get hard. See, life is full of our drive-thrus and our one-clicks and our ability to procrastinate and put things off and expect things almost immediately, whereas real results take time, and it actually takes not just time, but effort of doing hard things regularly for an easier life. But if you choose easy things like not cooking meals, like not growing, like sitting and watching Netflix and binging and drinking all the time and partying, which is easy to do, your life's ultimately going to be harder. So if you want an easier life, choose hard things more regular. If you want a harder life, choose easier things more regularly. When you open your mouth, you tell the world who you really are. What you talk about, what you say, defines a lot of your reality, your results, and your overall expectations. It's very important to be careful with what you say. And we've all said things that we've later regretted, or said things that maybe we shouldn't have said in the heat of the moment. But it's very, very important to work on yourself as an individual. Your mindsets, your thoughts, your beliefs, and the way you articulate yourself and present yourself to the world matters most. Don't react, respond. Get yourself in a good physical and mental state so that you have the capacity to be more focused, present, and capable of clarifying your answers, articulating your responses, and being more present with people so you can engage in debates and meaningful conversations rather than rants and raves and overall aggressive behaviour. The all or nothing man is an ego-filled death trap to be in. See, I used to be the all or nothing person, sniffing coke on a weekend, drinking 10, 12 vodkas, smoking pipes to get to sleep, being all or nothing in my behaviour. And when I was on the gym and I was off the drink, it was great, but then when I wasn't and I couldn't do it all, I would be off it and I would just go party and I would hit the fuck it switch over and over. But when I learned about it's never going to be able to be all or nothing, and I switched that identity, that mindset to little and often, just a bit. Just one's better than none. Even if I just get one this week or two this week, that's better than none. Rather than saying I must hit 6 or I must hit 10 or I must be 10 out of 10, 100%. I'm an all or nothing person, me. I'm an all or nothing. Take that fucking all or nothing badge away. Throw it in the bin and say, I just fucking turn up. I'm consistent. Because that matters way more. Goals are near useless, hairy-fairy ideas without this thing, and that is a deadline. A deadline matters because the amount of times you can procrastinate on goals, say, I'll get round to that, I've been meaning to do that, I should, I'll talk to you later, when things settle down at work. Listen, you want to achieve goals in life, you need deadlines. Deadlines to send the message, deadlines to book the course, deadlines to buy the ticket, deadlines to reach out to the coach, deadlines to start the program or course. Listen, we all need deadlines. It's super important. Think about events that you've been to, that you have to get to on that night, at that time, with that ticket, with that person. You always get it done because guess what? Deadlines drive decisions and deadlines create urgency. And those are two things that you need more of in your life if you want to hit more goals in your 40s and beyond. Health is wealth. People believe that wealth is just monetary things. They want the big house, the nice car, the flashy jewelry, the amazing lifestyle on social media, and we scroll through our TikToks and our Instagrams and whatever else you may use, and we see this flashing in our face every single day. But a lot of the time what we don't realize is the true wealth is in the health that you carry, the energy that you have day to day, the ability to know that you have good gut health, that you are feeding your body with great things, that you are feeding your mind with wonderful things as well. To be able to progress and advance is super important when we understand the absolute principle and life goal, if you will, of understanding health truly is wealth. Likes, shares and views won't pay the bills. We get so roped up, especially myself even, in the social media craze of needing to be liked, of wanting to go viral, of feeling disappointed when we put something out there and it basically does nothing. It's like a tumbleweed. And I've had my fair share of this, although I have had several viral posts and posts of a lot of engagement and things like that, and posts that have shot to near 1 million people. It doesn't put money in your bank account. It doesn't put food on the table. It doesn't actually make you feel any more fulfilled. In fact, getting too engrossed with the numbers on your socials and how many people are liking your shit actually can make you sadder. So detach from the outcome of being so engrossed in socials. If you run a business, yes, it's important to have a presence. Things like this video, I'm not expecting this to do amazing, but I'm doing it for impact and value. One person watches this and has a greater life at the end of it. And I know I've done my bit because I needed to watch videos like this along the way as well. And I wasn't too focused in the day about getting millions of likes and all the rest of the stuff. What's more important is that you feel good. And ongoing, you're looking after yourself, you're growing and you're learning. Every coach needs a coach, and every person needs a coach too. I'm a firm believer in mentors and coaches and courses and books and things that strive us to push more outside of ourselves. There's only so much we can go alone. The phrase, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. But I firmly believe that you'll go faster and further if you hire somebody or go with somebody who's made the mistakes that you're either currently making or are about to make. See, that's why a coach and a mentor will help, because they'll help fast track you to the result that you want, not having to do the mistakes that they made. So you can get results quicker than you would, maybe 10 years of results in 2 years. And you can get them even cheaper, even though it costs an investment to work with a coach. In the long run, it saves you money because you spend less money on shit and you spend less money on mistakes. So you invest in the right coach who fast tracks you the result. It's never ever a cost. It's never ever expensive. It's always an investment if you're getting a bigger return for your investment with that coach or mentor. It's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war. Now, what I mean by this is not that you have to be physically hard as fuck. That's not necessarily, although it wouldn't harm you. But what I do mean is I think you have to be physically prepared. If you are weak and you can't do 10 press-ups, if you can't walk up the stairs, you're fucking useless when shit hits the fan. If you have to avoid danger, if you have to defend yourself, if you have to have a presence and stand up for what you believe in, you're going to crumble if you don't have physical strength. Physical strength and fitness is so valuable. Even though you may never be in a situation to have to use it in an emergency, you never quite know when you might need it. So it's very important to be prepared, because it's way more important to be prepared and not have an opportunity than it is to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Journaling is the foundation of your emotions. Every day I journal in my personal supercharged planner. What journaling does is when you take your mind away from your phone and you put a pen in your hand, for thousands of years they have put ink to paper to get their mind to focus on one thing. And the importance in journaling, if it's done right, is you're putting your focus into how you want to feel, not how you do feel. You get your mind out of the drama and into the data. You take data capture, you reference things that are working, you understand what's not, and you readjust by putting your focus into one thing at a time, rather than scrolling through the endless notifications and the brain rot of your mobile phone. You need to put your mind into journaling. Pen and paper, nothing beats it. Those who are getting ahead in life more than likely have a very personal relationship with the pen. And it's one of the things that reigns true. For thousands of years, they've said the phrase, the pen is mightier than the sword. And I would add to that to say now the pen is even far mightier than the phone. Walking should be a daily non-negotiable. Thankfully, I would say more days of the week than not, 5 to 6 days a week now, I get out for a walk with my partner. In that time, we chat, we think creatively. It actually opens new pathways in your brain, especially if you walk without your phone or you have it off in your pocket and you engage in the fresh air and you allow your body to do some movement. You are literally changing your brain chemistry. You are calming your hormones, you are reducing stress, and you're giving yourself time to connect with a loved one. Do that daily as a non-negotiable. It's free, it's simple, and it's damn easy. It's not what you get that makes you happy, but it's who you become in the process. Life is a journey. It's not a destination. The only destination is death. We know that. We're always on our way, one day further every day. But the journey along the way is what makes it. The moments, who we become, how we upgrade, not the things that we get. It's lovely when we get a load of money, or we drive the nice car, we have the job of our dreams, and we get the thing. But it's the moments and the people It's the journey of who we are becoming. If we are progressing, we are happier people because progress is happiness. And just because we're getting something material does not necessarily mean that that's progress, because material things always usually feel less important over time. But who we're becoming over time should feel way more important than material things ever will. You are a leader and a role model to somebody whether you like it or not. Say it could be your grandson or your children, for example, or the work colleagues or your partner or somebody in your household or community who's looking at you as a leading figure of authority. Are the actions congruent with someone who wants to lead by example? Or is your life a warning? It's very, very important to take note of how you're acting, what you're doing with this thing, how you're treating this thing, and make better decisions moving forward so others can lead like a strong leader like you should be. Data destroys drama. Again, referencing things like a journal, where you take points of data about where you're at with particular goals, how you did in particular scenarios, how you are feeling, what you can do as a result to change that feeling. See, every point of data, whether it be tracking calories, tracking your energy levels, how much weight you're lifting, how much run you did, what your heart rate is like, anything, how much money's in your bank account, how much money you made last week, how many dates you were on this year so far, any kind of data takes away the drama in your head. See, so many people come to me and they're like, well, I'm shit at this and I would look stupid in a group setting and I've been crap at this and I've never got a handle at that. And I'm like, okay, what have we done? And not many people can tell me, and that's a sad fact because you're not tracking data. Data and analysing that data is the key to a happier life. I know it might not be relevant to you right now, but some form of data has to be prevalent for you to progress. Because you wouldn't rely on memory alone to run a business. You wouldn't rely on memory alone just to be happy. But unfortunately, most people are. So take that data, forget about the drama. Progress is happiness. I mentioned this before, but elaborating on it is that progress happens as a result of struggle. Usually. Without struggle, there is no progress. You might have heard that. I'm pretty sure that's in Transformers movie, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure Shia LaBeouf may have said that. Or maybe it was Optimus Prime. I don't know. However, struggle is part of the process in life. When you struggle and you get through, get over, go around, achieve, you feel progress. Even if it's just getting out of something that's bothering you and you've stepped away from it, you feel progress. Progress goes to happiness because you get some level of feeling like you're on track, not off track. So remember, if you want to feel happier, track progress. Track how far you're going, how far you've been, not just how far off you are, how much gap you've got and how shit you've been previously. Look at where you are compared to where you've been and I guarantee you'll be happier. Structure and routine equals freedom. A lot of people think that structure is too rigid and it'll be too strict and they won't have much freedom, but in actuality it's the reverse. When you have structure to your life, like set days and set times and set places to be, it creates freedom from negative emotions, freedom from anxiety, freedom of decision making as well, because you don't have to make as many decisions as they're already made for you. Structure and routine, something like an exercise cycle of set days and set times or set meals and set times, that stuff's going to help make you feel freer. So don't avoid it. Attract more structure in your life. Be more ruthlessly organized. Plan more. Nothing happens as an adult after 9 p.m. that cannot be caught up on the next day. Huge realization for me in my 40s, understanding the importance of sleep and rest and getting at least 7 hours, because anything under 7 hours is sleep deprivation, according to brain scientists. Making sure you have consistent bedtimes and wake times. At the end of the day, after 9 o'clock, unless it's a live gig or live show or live sporting event, there's nothing you can't catch up on the next day. Everything's on demand now, everything's recorded, and everything's available the next day. Get to fucking bed earlier and get up earlier. You'll never regret getting to bed earlier, and you'll never regret getting out of bed earlier as well. Sex should happen at least every 7 days. Now, I've been in a relationship with my partner for over a decade now, and we have never went longer than 10 to 14 days without sex. And now it is often every 4 to 5 days. I tell you this because intimacy is one of the things that is going to help you grow and expand in a relationship for a longer period of time. If you're going over 7 days, that's fine, but you need to start making plans. At the end of the day, there's nothing more connective and immersive and fantastic than that intimacy with your partner. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of when they get in a relationship, the intimacy side of things stalls, so they end up saying, I married my best friend. I don't fuck my best friend, I fuck my partner. I fuck my lover. We have sex. we make love. I don't do that to my best friend. I don't want to do that. So we need to, I believe, personally, start thinking about our partner as our intimate lover, our relationship, and treat it as a weekly standard. If you want a better standard of living, start putting more of a priority on sexual activity regularly. There's never a perfect time, but there's almost always a right time. Now, if you think about this, the only answer to your problems is action. I know so many people who want to gather information, think about it, read about it, talk about it, procrastinate over it, think about the date after the holiday, do it the next year, plan it, schedule it. The only way to do it is actually fucking do it. You need to take action to get the answer you're looking for. Stop waiting for the perfect time and just begin. Today or tomorrow is the best time you can do it. Everyone is always doing what's best for them. This is a great reminder to be more compassionate in your life and understanding when people overreact or they're inappropriate or whatever it is. They have an ability to always be self-serving. We're all self-serving. We're doing what we believe is best for us. So to understand that, we have to remember that even if someone doesn't agree with us, if they do something that we believe is wrong or whatever, it's not to say that that's acceptable. However, we do have to accept that people are always doing what they believe is best for them. Now that invites more compassion, understanding, and a reality check to sometimes think, well, maybe there's another way to see it. And you can cause yourself way less stress rather than arguing with reality, and understand that the reality is everybody is always doing what they believe is best for them. Diet and exercise only become long-term solutions when you stop doing them. It may sound contradictory, but hear me out. Diet is temporary. As a word, it's temporary. It sounds boring and unappealing. Lifestyle sounds like it's just the way you live and the way you are and the way you're becoming. That's an identity shift. Exercise is something that you do when you feel like it. You go to the gym when you want to exercise, when you need to. Training, on the other hand, is where you do it long term. You train for a reason. You train to be able to grow up, for longevity, for strength to deal with your grandkids, for the physical ability to outdo danger, for the mental capacity to be calm in stressful situations, to be a better, more present partner, to be a more loving father. Whatever it is for you, you need to remember that there's nothing more important than you feeling in a good state. Train for life. Short little story, I walked 14 years ago or something now. I walked into a fishmonger's and in a tank top, sweating in summer. My muscles were pumped. I'd just been at the gym and I walked up and I ordered 20 fish steaks. I think they were tuna steaks or salmon. And the guy behind the counter said, "Oh, you training, mate? You know what you're training for? You're looking good." I said, "What am I training for?" He goes, yeah, what are you training for? I was like, doing a boxing thing? Are you doing a photo shoot? Like, you going on a holiday? I was like, I'm training for life. And he looked me dead in the eyes, confused, and then he went, "Got a reason as any." So you don't have to train for an event. You don't just have to train for the January fucking fatness that you feel after you ate like a dick over Christmas. Train for life, man. For energy, for focus, for confidence, for the ability to stand up and say, I train for fucking life, for a great life. Training is way more important than exercise ever will be. Hobbies make happiness. So many people get to their 30s and 40s and beyond and just lose touch with hobbies that they used to do. Maybe it was gaming, like myself. Maybe I like miniature painting, like Warhammer and stuff. I'm a total fucking geek and I've got no problem admitting that. Maybe it was music you were into. Maybe it was dance, theatre. Maybe it was martial arts even. I don't know. Maybe it was crafting, reading, creating in some way. Fishing. We had hobbies as guys. But when we grew up, we just stopped doing it. And what we did is started smoking, drinking, scrolling, mindless watching of TV, alcohol on a midweek night, and it just crushed our hobbies. We need to get back into that because hobbies help you focus. Because hobbies are not scrolling on your phone. That's not a hobby. A hobby isn't binge watching Netflix and eating fucking takeaways. A hobby isn't going out on the piss. A hobby is something that you want to get better at, that you want to produce with, what you want to progress with. So get back to those hobbies, man, because nothing will make you more happier than having something for you outside of family, work, and life. The quality of your results is down to the quality of your planning. On my one-to-one program, I tell people how to plan relentlessly with that journal, how to be way more ruthlessly organized, because the quality of your life will expand exponentially when you plan better, when you schedule things in, when you self-create deadlines, when you review and reflect and you return and report, when you look back and look forward and stay present and be focused on planning things in your life. Fail to plan, plan to fail. You've heard it before, but are you actually doing it? That is super important, especially moving into your 40s and beyond. Simple gets it done. If you treat things as complex, you overcomplicate them, you just give yourself an excuse to not do it. You procrastinate, you say later when things have settled down. Keep it simple and get it done. I think the most simplest things are the ones that work the most effectively. If you just got to bed earlier, started drinking more water, got to the gym more days of the week than not, and track your calories, holy shit, your entire body and life would change. If you just were a little bit more conscious about how you are feeling, answering 5 minutes of journal questions, getting out for a fresh walk every day for 15 minutes, things would change. It's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. And simplicity gets it done. Overwhelm is simply not being clear on your priorities. A lot of people talk about overwhelm now, and the fact is, you're just not clear. You're not clear because clarity is power. And when you journal more and when you're more focused on the actual priorities and what's more important to you today than anything, what's going to move the needle, then everything changes. You're no longer overwhelmed. You'll have periods of it, but you'll drastically reduce the frequency and intensity of those periods when you're more organized. If you want a less stressed life, if you want a less overwhelming life, get more organized. Comparison isn't the thief of joy. People talk about all the time, just stop comparing yourself to others. Well, actually, comparison could be the seed of opportunity. Because looking at someone else who's way further ahead than you, even if it makes you feel shit at the start, maybe you could go, I wonder how he did it. Hey, I wonder how he lost all that weight. I wonder how he got in that shape. I wonder how he made all that money. I wonder how he got that far in life. I wonder how he made a success of that. See, you can look at somebody else because success leaves clues. Rather than say, I'm shit, I'm way behind, I look crap compared to them, start asking, I wonder how they did it. Hey, maybe they could give us some advice. I wonder what it would be like to be around that person some more. Be curious, because that'll lead to confidence. Pay handsomely for your mattress and pillow. Look, I talk about sleep a lot, but it's one of the things that helps me stay youthful, keeps my energy high, and makes my mental health supremely better. Pay above and beyond for a good quality mattress, a really good pillow, so your bed is cool, comfortable, magnificent. So you feel like you're going to sleep in a fucking cloud and you're waking up refreshed. Don't skimp on your sleep quality. Last but not least, growth is the only goal. If you think about it, we've all got goals. I've got so many, and we all would love to achieve way more than we're ever going to have time for in this life. But at the end of the day, if we're growing, we're expanding. If we're expanding, we're getting happier because we're progressing. Progress and growth is the number one key to our happiness. But we can treat growth as just one more. You go into the gym and you could only do 20 press-ups last week and you can do 21 this week. Take it as a win, man. You didn't have an argument this week with your partner and you actually gave her a kiss and a cuddle before you left. Treat it as a win, man. You sat on the sofa and you just enjoyed a cup of coffee with the cats. Take it as a win, man. You've actually got money in your bank account this month. It might not be much, but you're not in debt anymore. Take it as a win, man. Like, you got out the house and you went for a walk because your mental health was struggling. Take it as a win, man. They don't have to be fucking magnificent, huge things. Growth is the only goal, and if you're growing, you're happy. Hey, I'd love to know in the comments which one stood out for you the most. I'll see you on the next video. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, and click the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you are notified of every new video that drops every single week here on the channel. And also, if you would like a free copy of my second book, Supercharged, the modern day guide to creating outstanding levels of energy, motivation, and self-control, then I've got it on audio right now. All you need to do is go to superchargedaudio.com, enter your details, and it's yours to your email inbox for free. Let's go. See you on the next video.